Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Kate Wilson, and I'm the CEO of the Digital Impact Alliance. I want to thank you all for the kind invitation to speak at the 2022 ICT for D Partnerships Conference. I really want to thank Catholic Relief Services in particular for their efforts to keep this conference going. I know that attending in person was one of the highlights of my year, and I'm so delighted to be able to participate this week in all the wonderful sessions that have been planned. I'm particularly interested to learn from each of you and hopefully help contribute how we think about one of the key themes, which is partnerships. Quite frankly, how we think about sharing information, sharing resources, sharing data, and doing digital development together, I believe is one of the key things that will distinguish whether or not all the efforts we have been taking for a decade actually land and are used and able to be reused by country governments as they seek to serve their citizens better. At Dial, we think about partnerships in terms of everything we do. As background, we were founded in 2015 by a group of global donors who were looking at how they could connect digital development efforts that were all incredibly promising, but had not yet always gone to scale. So they stood up an independent organization that could connect that ecosystem and not compete with it. So quite frankly, everything we do is done on the basis of partnerships and with partnerships. We were even founded by partnership. Our mission right now is to help advance digital transformation, the journeys that countries are undertaking in order to ensure better services for each of their people. In order to do that, we take a think, do, replicate approach. We look at deep problems in digital technology, research, work with partners, figure out how to do them better. We then get our hands dirty, working on the ground with national level partners, other implementing NGOs, multilateral systems to try and figure out, working together, how we can actually make something work on the ground. Then we learn lessons from that. And then we look and think about how we can replicate those, working with others and producing tools and lessons that other people can use. My hope is today that some of the things that I talked to you about in terms of this partnership lessons will actually be something that you think you might be able to apply in other places where you work. I can tell you that is actually what we are measured on, and so I would be delighted to hear from you if that is indeed the case. So let's take a step back and talk about what are the challenges that countries were facing and how we think about this in terms of digital transformation. Recognize, each of us, that the problems that countries are facing are completely interrelated. We can't just think about hunger without thinking about how to educate a child. We can't think about hunger without looking at water supply and the ability to actually water those crops. We certainly are all keenly aware of the degree to which infectious diseases will completely upend our society, seemingly overnight. Quite frankly, everything we do, it's a system and it is interrelated, and countries are struggling with that. They recognize that digital platforms are powerful tools. We have seen over the last decade, and it's definitely been beaten over our heads over the last 3 years, the degree to which digital tools actually will help reshape our societies. But it's really important that we put in place systems to help manage and control those tools and have them serve the people and not have them serve malign causes external to a country. Our current approach, building sector by sector by sector, individual systems, quite frankly, isn't sustainable and actually means it's more susceptible to challenges that could come from external forces. It is critical that we, as the global development community, begin to think about digital platforms and not pipes, and think about and partner with one another to actually bring together these systems directly and operationally on the ground in places where we work. Quite frankly, digital transformation requires a new way of thinking about partnerships, a new way of working together. And I know that we can do this. But we have seen a lot of challenges. I was an implementer for 10 years, implementing health programs. I know the degree of challenge that faces a country government and that faces any of us working to run these projects. We will often see different groups running similar projects within the same country that have kind of similar technology. We'll see challenges that country governments have where they want to coordinate across different partners and ministries, but may not have the time, money, or people dedicated to actually bring together those efforts. And we may not yet have the full level of national leadership on digital transformation that will shape this. This leads to somewhat low coordination between in-country and global actors, and these challenges are exacerbating and continuing the system in which we live. And some of these challenges lead to inefficiency. How many of you have tried to work with someone else and seen your values maybe didn't align, your goals weren't quite the same, and we've kind of rushed processes because we have projects that are ending at different points in time? And this leads to frustration. You want to work with others, you want to collaborate, but it may not be possible. And this leads ultimately to some unsustainable systems, which the countries have to grapple with as soon as a project or a program ends. So we started thinking about, is there a way to have a new partnership model? A partnership model that is really built on starting from the user, the country government, and the society, and really thinking about a new way to shape these partnerships so that they could scale and last and be led by the government long after a country project or program ends. In this model, we started working with other countries and other partners. And it really started with an effort that we had with Smart Africa. We listened to 10 governments across sub-Saharan Africa to hear from them what were the main challenges they were having in taking their digital transformation efforts across all of their societies to scale and bringing together groups. And you know what? They identified partnerships and the ability to bring together those partners as one of the main challenges that they faced. And we found that one partnership could lead to another. So we first started with the Smart Africa Partnership. Then with Smart Africa, we then talked to each of these 10 country governments, and we agreed with one, Sierra Leone, to actually take it and lead it forward. But it didn't stop there. We didn't bring to them a laundry list of here's what we're going to do. We asked them, what do you most need done and in what order? And struck a memorandum of understanding with them to begin providing support that would be directed by them and implemented in part by us. But again, asking us to help coordinate partners on the ground. The government of Sierra Leone started this model with us in 2020, so we're still very much in early days. But with their partnership, as well as Sierra Leone, as well as Smart Africa's, we've been able to help mobilize some new financing, have brought to them some new tools, and have been able to look at how we can actually help them increase time to do this. We have been bringing with them digital principles trainings, which have introduced key digital development concepts about how they design with the user, reuse the information, reuse existing systems, and build better collaborations. We have brought to them new trainings where they have trained new graduates in how to do capacity to incorporate global standards and think about their enterprise architecture in a new way. We have also worked with them on the policy side, helping them take forward their national digital development policy, as well as their national digital development strategy. And this is leading to new partnerships that are taking place on the ground and letting them coordinate this new infrastructure themselves as we help support and fund a new project management office to actually help run this and move it forward. We believe that this new partnership model can equal new efficiencies, and I want to give one small but very early stage around this. So when we started our work with Sierra Leone earlier this year, they had seen that they had a national digital development policy and a national digital development strategy that had been worked on for a number of years, almost 2 years to be exact. In under 4 months, with support from this type of new partnership model that really connected the ministries on the back end and funded that kind of bringing it together, they were able to get both of those approved by their cabinet and announced. And now we're working with them to help document what their operational plan for that will be and helping them mobilize new resources in 2022 to help make their digital transformation dream that they've had for many years in their strategy drafts actually a reality over the next few years. If you are interested in learning more about this new type of partnership model, and quite frankly, helping share with us your stories of partnerships and how you're helping work on national digital transformations, we would be delighted. Please reach out to us underneath our website, check out more information there. Please look at our Twitter handles and feel free to reach out to me personally. Again, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful conference, and it's wonderful to be with you here today. Thank you.